Good morning, Ambazonians. This is Capo Daniel. I'm with Honorable Abdul, the barrister who has been very helpful to protect the legal interests of the Naira 12. He was hired by the family members and he has been doing a lot of pro bono job even in Nigeria. He is also an activist. And I'm lucky to have him today. I was introduced to him by Barrister Narova, since she's a client here as well. So she had asked me to present to him certain questions which she says he'll be able to answer to me. If not, I will still revert back to her. So good morning, Honorable.
Yeah, good morning.
So Honorable, last time I shared with you some videos from Atam Milan titled the Nera story, which he narrated the incident according to his version, what happened. I wanted to ask you, did you go through the video?
Well, yes, I did. I went through it.
Did you talk about it with Barrister Narova?
No, I've not spoken to her because since she left Nigeria, at the time she left Nigeria, I didn't know.
Okay.
But I got to know later that she left, and I saw her WhatsApp message. She sent me a WhatsApp message, which I replied, and we'll be chatting on WhatsApp basically, but we didn't discuss anything about the video.
Okay. But she informed you that I'll be asking you some few questions.
She told me we were coming.
Okay. Yeah,
but she didn't tell me, she didn't give me any specific questions.
Okay. Yeah, according to that video, Milan had produced some screenshot of conversation between both of them. And we wanted to know if she questioned the validity or the authenticity of those screenshots.
I have not discussed that video with her.
Okay.
So I wouldn't know what is authentic and what is not authentic.
Okay.
But one thing I would like to say, which is the point I made before when I spoke with you, is that I think in as much as you want the security of certain leaders or those in critical key positions or kind of those who are interested in what is happening in Cameroon, or those who believe they are critical stakeholders in the events happening in Cameroon.
It's really sad, the situation, the active genocide which is going on. And one of the narrative happens to be my relative actually. Dr. Cornelius Kwanga is a far relative of mine from my mother's side as well, and we have had several times direct death from my extended family as well. So it's something that really hit us from the heart. But I think we are really, why we want to establish at least some baseline of what happened is because a struggle like this with the stakes, if we have some loopholes or potential that there might be someone who is compromised, or a potential that some compromised person might be amongst ourselves, the whole thing might be futile at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's good for you to deal with that, and not. But I'm saying that you should not allow the fear of compromise to consume all your time, or the integrity of the struggle or of the campaign. It is true. It is good for you to find out what went on, to do a kind of investigation, or to want to understand what happened exactly. So I think that is important. It's good to know that. But like I said, I didn't know any of these people. I was approached after the arrest of the Nera 12, and I felt offended by what the government of Nigeria did. I was very unhappy about it, because I'm a human rights activist. I'm also a lawyer, and my background is not to. My background is that if I see injustice anywhere, it affects me directly. So I have to engage it. I have to deal with it. And I must fight injustice everywhere, whether in Cameroon or in Congo or in Nigeria, anywhere. So that was my mindset. And then after the release of Naloa and others, I now got to know them and now share their experiences, the harrowing period they were detained, the condition of their detention, and also the pain associated with their incarceration, And then I was also very angry about the way the Nera 10, not Nera, Nera 10, Nera Hotel, those who were abducted at the Nera Hotel, the way they were deported without following the due process of law. I was absolutely offended by that too. So, and I dedicated my time. I said, well, look, I must fight for this. I must continue to ensure that other Cameroonians who are seeking refuge in Nigeria, not just Cameroonians, all Africans, or whoever is coming to Nigeria for refuge, must be protected according to the rule of law, according to the international standard, the international conventions and protocols that we have subscribed to as a nation, as a people. So these are some of my main motivations. But as I said, you should not allow this to affect how you relate with yourself or the need to work together. You may disagree on the procedure or even the ideological inclination of some of your members or whatever, but you have to understand that you cannot all agree with everybody, and that but you can agree on the fundamentals. What are the fundamentals? We want freedom. We want our people to be secured. We want to be able to manage our local affairs. We want we reject discrimination. We reject oppression. We reject all kinds of inhuman and degrading treatments that your people are being subjected to. And if you want development, we want to move along, or want to achieve certain standard as Africans, as humans. And those in exile want to be able to return home with hope, to participate in the local economy. And then those in exile should be able to return home to their families, to their businesses, to their farms, to their schools, to their social lives, to live their normal lives. I think these are the issues that, for me, should be the priority of every Cameroonian who is a stakeholder.
So I think the advice here is that we should not really consume so much of our time just regarding the things that are controversial or the nitty-gritty things, but we should focus more on our struggle and to bring the various so I think, like Barrister had said, the focus of our struggle is very crucial. So in as much as we may find time and we try to know some of these important investigations to find out some bottom line and to see how we can secure the struggle as a whole, it's very important that we also don't remove our eyes from the ball. So just to clear, so at least we can say from those messages you are not in a position to answer specific things.
I'm not in a position to answer some of the observations or some comments contained in the video. And I cannot say this person is a spy or this one is not a spy. I don't have the privilege of knowing their background. I don't know who they have socialized with, who they have related with. Sorry. Or who I'm not in the fortune to have an accurate profile of each of those major dramatists personnel. But I've checked some online, like Dr. Akwanga. I know he's a professor. I know that some things they do in Nigeria, business person. I know about Sissoko, computer engineer, and a professor at university in Yola, American University in Yola. And I looked at the profile of all those my clients,
Yeah.
and these are prominent people,
Yeah.
people with families. Some of them have lived in Nigeria for many years,
Yeah.
and they have never broken any law. They've never been involved in any criminal conspiracy
Yes.
or any form of criminality.
Yeah.
They've been living their lives, training people, teaching at universities,
Yeah.
and even though they have been some of them have been agitated for years,
Yeah.
they are not known to be violent people.
Yeah.
Nobody has shown evidence of that.
Yeah.
So to the extent of what I know, I will stand by my clients and defend their interests and their integrity.
Okay. So just in case, in the course of your work for the clients, is it do you have any idea about that gathering itself, the Nera gathering?
Well, as I said, I didn't know. I didn't even follow the struggle in Cameroon closely.
Okay.
Until these people were arrested and I was consulted.
Okay.
So I wouldn't know about the agenda of the meeting or whatever. But I know that after the arrest, I started showing greater interest into what was happening.
Yeah.
In what was happening. Even the refugees, I started showing interest in the plight of the refugee. I started listening to Cameroonian television, watching them programs on reading websites, reading their newspapers online, and getting to meet people. In fact, it was on the strength of it that I traveled to Cameroon.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Cameroon before, so I had been to Yaoundé by air.
Okay.
I stopped over
Transit.
I was on transit, way back, but I've never really gone there to meet people, to work there, to do either for a conference or whatever. I've never had until that. I said, okay, let me go to Cameroon. It's just so close to us, why not? So I went there, and I spent about 5 days talking to people, visiting people. I drove by road from Douala to Yaoundé.
Okay.
And I spent the night in Yaoundé, went to the Ministry of Justice, to the Human Rights Commission, went to the International Red Cross office, and I met with some journalists and some lawyers. And I also spent some time in Douala, going around, trying to understand, feel the pulse of the country, try to understand what's going on. So I think from what I can see, the ecology, the geography, the topography, the food you eat, everything. I was completely at home.
Yes.
I felt as if I was in Nigeria.
Exactly.
I didn't feel as if I was in a foreign country or in a strange land. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that also gave me strengthened my result to ensure that since I'm feeling so much at home here, there should be justice here. People should be free to live their lives. Because I also discovered that most people can't, a taxi driver cannot discuss with you.
Yes, there is.
He's afraid. I couldn't discuss with anybody at the restaurant. We have to go out to talk. I went to a TV station. I spent almost an hour on television interview. They could not use the interview.
Yes. They couldn't.
They couldn't.
Yeah. And we were looking forward for that because we had heard that.
Yeah, I was interviewed by Deputy Tongo of SRTV. For more than an hour. So, because I wasn't inciting anybody.
Yes.
I was simply saying, preaching peace and saying that, look, this war that is going on in Cameroon is avoidable.
It's avoidable.
The war is avoidable because you can deal with some of the political agitations.
Yes.
You can deal with the issues, the complaint of the lawyers.
Yes.
You can deal with the larger issues of political autonomy.
Yes.
So you can address some of all the issues. If the people find you sincere and they see you, try to chart a new course, I'm sure they want to work with you. But I'm afraid the situation it was just accelerated towards.
Just to follow up on that.
Because all the killings, all the burning of houses,
Yeah.
summary executions.
Yes.
The situation became so escalated that
Yeah.
I said, well, we have war on our hand.
Just to follow up on what you said there, because a lot of us, we don't just see it like a camera. When you look at it from an African perspective, it's quite avoidable, but we see the hand of France. For some of us who are advocate in that situation, we see the hands of France because Cameroon have some agreements with France. Did you, in your experience, in your observation, did you find out that there might be some invisible hands that makes up a simple problem like those legitimate grievances not to be addressed?
Most crises in Africa, whether internal or inter-Africa, and were never really instigated by local forces. There are always foreign hands involved.
Yeah.
Because if you look at all the laws, all the referenda, all the activities that everybody is talking about, France had always had a hand in it.
Yeah.
The French policy of assimilation does not allow for pluralism.
Yeah.
Or for plurality of opinion or way of life, of culture. No. You can see the way the French ambassador in the United States reacted to the interview.
Comment with the guy from South Africa, the comedian.
Yes.
Yeah.
That these are Frenchmen.
Yeah.
They are French. So you didn't even consider the fact that you could be French and also
African.
be African.
Yes.
So the French policy of assimilation does not allow you to think outside the box.
Yes.
It doesn't allow you to think that you're African.
Yeah.
I think that was where Senghor started talking about negritude and all that.
Yeah.
Why was this man killed, Patrice Lumumba? It was the same thing.
Yeah.
It's for the same reason.
Yeah.
So France is 100% responsible for the problems in Cameroon today.
Yeah, definitely.
They are responsible. 70 years or 60 years of independence, you still have maintained a military base in that country. You are still exploiting all the mineral resources of the country. They are still using your French franc when you don't even use the franc again in your own country. And then all the foreign reserves of the country, they are in your central bank, including other francophone countries.
Yes.
So you are still maintaining what we now call neo-colonies,
Yes.
even though they are not colonies.
Yeah.
But I also blame Britain, because Britain abandoned Southern Cameroon.
Yeah.
Britain did not show responsibility for Southern Cameroon, and to some extent the United Nations. When the problems were started, Britain should have been able to talk to France.
Yeah.
And then prevail on Amadou Ahidjo, Paul Biya,
Oh, yeah.
to say this path you are following, trying to use force, declaring war on your own people, is absolutely unacceptable.
Yeah.
Why don't you go into dialogue with your own people? Discuss with them, have a conversation, discuss all the issues,
Yeah.
And then you resolve your problems peacefully. I think they were probably, I read one of the old newspapers dated with deadline 1993.
Yeah.
Is it Cameroon Post or something?
Cameroon Post.
Yeah, where it was alleged that President Mitterrand of France
Yeah.
was responsible for this problem, that was told France not to accept a federation.
Yeah.
So it shows that the influence of France, the French control of various institutions and even the presidency in Cameroon is absolute. It's still there. So they are responsible. France is responsible for this problem.
Yes. Well, thank you very much. So we will just round up with just one last question.
But also, we cannot continue to forever to be blaming foreign
actors.
Actors. Now you have the African Union.
Yeah.
What is the African Union doing about it? What of other African heads of state? As the peer review mechanism of that was introduced, Africa Renaissance. How much have they put that to bring that to bear on the Cameroonian president or the Cameroonian administration to say, look, what is happening in your country is unacceptable to us as African fellow African heads of state or according to our regions. Now the refugees they are fleeing. The Nigerian government ought to be in a position to say, look, negotiate with your people who can help you broker peace.
Yeah.
But instead of doing that, the Nigerian president, the Nigerian government, went in cahoots with the Cameroonian government to deport these people and escalated the crisis that was already, evolving. So I think African leaders have to be more careful. First of all, the right of citizens
Yeah.
should be their primary responsibility. The security of lives and property, protecting the rights of all citizens of Africa, irrespective of their nationality,
Yeah.
should be their primary responsibility.
We are already taken aback with the response from the various African leaders and the African Union in particular. They have been silent on this matter.
Because the African Union will not support the idea of Ambazonia.
Yeah.
They will not. They don't want to see more countries created in Africa.
But just like to follow up on that, most of us will look at it. I happen to have been a law student as well as a law student of political science. And when we look at the legal merit of our case, it's a very simple case.
You have a very strong legal position.
So why
because it was a deviation
Yeah.
from the original intendment
Yes.
of the proponents of a union
Yes.
that is largely responsible for this today, which was a federal system
Yes.
of two equal states.
Yes.
Now that doesn't exist, and that is a problem.
So that when for us who look it from our perspective, we see the right of a state of Southern Cameroon, that territory, we look at its rights in both the African Charter and the United Nations.
Yes.
So those things doesn't really matter anymore.
They do matter, they are there. But I'm saying that you cannot expect Mahatma Faki,
Yeah.
who is from Chad, just your immediate neighbor,
Yeah.
to Biya, both Francophonie,
Yeah.
to take side with you. It's not going to happen.
Irrespective of the law, because
Irrespective of the law, irrespective of the only thing that can change the situation is for maybe the international community collectively, the US, Britain, France, and maybe Nigeria, ECOWAS, East African community, South Africa, and other key players in Africa to say, look, this war cannot continue. President Biya, negotiate with your people. Or the restorationists, as people call your group or your movement, are able to scale up their own activities to the extent that the Cameroonian system becomes untenable. You see the point I'm making. So I think the best option for Cameroon would be to still for the president to accept that escalating the conflict, pursuing genocide, killing people, burning villages, is not going to lead to a desirable end for Cameroon.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I think we all have the advice. This is also a learning process because talking to an activist like you, somebody who have been very crucial in fighting for Nigeria as well, it's very important for us to learn and get some advice. And just to conclude with the issue concerning Alova, since she sent me to you, did it surprise you that you want me to ask you questions that you are not able to answer?
I'm surprised because these are questions she should have been able to answer herself.
Yeah.
She was responsible for all her actions.
Yeah.
She knows what she was doing. She was participating. When they took me to her, when the police went to search her house,
Yeah.
I was there. Because in Nigeria, if they are going to, if there is a warrant, a search warrant to be executed, you can call your lawyer to be present. So I was present. And there was nothing incriminating that was found in his house, except badges, conference badges, and then maybe her laptop, some conversations, information in her laptops, and then the passport photograph, the children's Cameroonian passport. That was all. And I think these police were more interested in trying to ascertain whether she was a Cameroonian or a Nigerian. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Barrister. Thank you very much. And we hope to go around Nigeria as well and to meet more people to talk and to engage and feel the city. God bless you.
Thank you.